Hello everyone, this is Lynette with the Skin Candy. Thank you so much for joining me again today on another one of my Soapy Time adventures. Today I am doing something different. I am actually doing a voiceover recording. The day that I recorded this, there was a lot going on in the workshop. We had bath bombs being made, shower steamers, lots of noise, air compressors, you name it. And so I figured it would be easier for me to do a voiceover using my brand new USB microphone that I actually got probably 6 months or so ago, but I was a little scared to use it. So we are just going to try this and see how it goes. And maybe it will be good, maybe it will be bad. So what I have done is I am going to be doing a soap today called, I call it Saturday Morning Cartoons, and it is using Fruity Loops from Nature's Garden, which you guys saw just a few seconds ago. I will leave the link to that fragrance oil down below. And it is basically, it smells just like Fruit Loops. To me, you can smell the cereal, you can smell all the fruity flavors. I am not a Fruit Loop cereal lover, but Fruit Loops, to me, is how I came up with the name of Saturday Morning Cartoons. When I was growing up, my mother did not allow us to have cold cereal during the week. The only time we were allowed to have cold cereal was on Saturdays. And I remember we would grab a bowl of cold cereal and go into the family room. And I remember sitting on, actually putting my bowl of cereal on newspaper and eating my cold cereal on Saturday morning watching cartoons. So if any of you are old enough to remember the wonderful Saturday morning cartoons, leave me a comment down below and tell me what your favorite Saturday morning cartoon was. So we are making, it is a brand new loaf of soap for me. I've never used this fragrance before. I just went ahead and mixed a little bit of oil into each one of my micas just to help with dispersing, so I don't have any spots or anything when I mix up. I usually don't have any problems with that. I use Mad Micas for all my micas, and I have never seen any problems with leaving spots unless I have maybe oversaturated the color a little bit. But usually I don't ever have any problems with spotting. I have just mixed up my oils to get the kale and clay, goat's milk, and colloidal oats dispersed into the oils. And now I'm adding my 50-50 lye solution blend. It is 50% distilled water, sorry, had a brain fart there, and then 50% of my sodium hydroxide. I make this in a great big bucket, so I do master batch my lye because I make so many soaps at one time, it's just easier. So I've mixed it up. I brought it just barely to trace it. I just checked it to make sure there was no separation, and we are going on our way and measuring out our fragrance oils. The reason why I did that is because I've never used this fragrance oil in a soap before. I have used it in bath bombs, and I believe we've used it in body butter and lotion. This is a favorite of my one of my employee, and she loves anything foodie scents. So I thought I would make this soap for her just for something fun. I'm gonna let her take home a couple of bars, and then we'll see if they sell. I also made it in a candle, and it smells so good. But which is really weird. It's a yummy smelling candle, and I made one of them. I only made one, and it hasn't sold. I'm not sure why. It's kind of weird, but it's a really yummy scent. And I have people say all the time that Fruit Loops, Fruity Pebbles, those are their best sellers in candles. So maybe just around here, people are, I don't know. Maybe we're all weird. I don't know. So I am just mixing up all of my colors now. And you guys saw all those colors. I will leave the color links down below in the description box with a link for you to be able to go there if you are interested in picking up any of these micas to use. They come as small as, I believe, a sample size up to a couple of pounds, maybe even more than a couple of pounds. I used to buy my purple in like 5-pound bags when I was doing a humongous lavender soap order. So now what I'm doing is I'm just dispersing just little by little my Fruity Loops fragrance oil. The reason why I'm doing this is because, again, I do not know how it's going to react in soap. So I have become not a very trusting person when it comes to looking at reviews and the testing that some of these soap companies do, because I trust them and then my soap fails. So I want to be able to, I want this soap to turn out, and I don't want it to be a gloppy mess. So I am just hand stirring everything in, and then we will add it to our loaf. Usually I do 3 loaves of soap. If you've watched any of my previous videos, you'll see that I usually do 3 just because of demand has grown and I need to make more. However, this batch, I just wasn't sure how it would be, so I wanted to do a test batch, do 1 loaf, see how it turned out, and see how well it sells. And so far, it's been an okay seller. It hasn't been my best seller. I'm wondering if it might sell better more in the summer times because it's real fruity. And unless you're a real foodie lover for soaps, you probably wouldn't like this soap. But you probably would love it for a candle. So I'm going ahead and putting all of my my batter. I'm pouring all of my batter in there. I'm pouring all my white, and then I'm going to pour all my other colors in there, and I am going to reserve some for the top. My original plan for this is I was going to do a hanger swirl, but if you are a soaper for 5 seconds, you're going to see just what's going on here with this soap. This basically slowed down trace, meaning it is not getting thick at all. I could have stick blended it for 5 minutes probably, and I would have been fine. And because it is so runny, I decided not to do a hanger swirl, but I decided just to keep it as a drop swirl. And this batch, I do believe I actually I measured the batch out wrong, and I do have quite a bit extra. So I did pour some in some of the little flower molds that are over to the right. So I actually let this sit. It actually had to sit for about a half hour. And then I just took and then just drizzled the top. As you can see how runny it still is. It's very, very liquidy. It was funny, but once it started to solidify, it got solid fast. And then we are coming up right up on the next day. This is not even 18 hours later. I think I did that batch about maybe 7 or 8 o'clock at night. And this is probably about 10 o'clock the next morning. So we're looking at about, 14 hours. And it's hard as a rock and good to go. I do believe I steamed the top, but I didn't film steaming it. Sometimes I just don't have time to film everything that I'm doing, but look at those corners. They're just perfectly straight. No, there's nothing mushy on them. Usually your corners are the first to go. I cut these and, I have to clean my cutter. I really do need to give my cutter a bath, but I was making so much soap at this time. I'm like, why even bother? So I usually do 9 bars. I get 9 bars out of this, and I get 2 end pieces, and I cut those end pieces in half, and then I put those end pieces into my soap sampler boxes. Now, sometimes I do 10, depending on if it's a custom order or not. If they want 10, I'll do 10 bars, and it gives me 10 equal bars with the 1-inch cutter. Now, this cutter that I got it from Bud. I think it's Bud Huffner, and he is on Etsy. And the last I checked, he still had cutters available, but I don't think he's doing any more custom orders. I believe he is a little bit of an older gentleman, and he wants to enjoy his retirement. So I don't blame him. I can't wait till I can retire. So he offers cutters, but I think it's only what he has in stock. But look, did you look and see those swirls? Oh my gosh. They look so good. That drop swirl, chef's kiss, I will say. I was very impressed with that. I thought it was going to muddle for sure. I bet you guys thought it too, but it didn't. I was so excited to see those colors. So you just saw me put split those samples up, and now I kind of speed up this version because it's, it's not 27 bars now, it's 9 bars. And of course, it's off camera. So I do apologize for that, but I did want you guys to be able to see the trimming of the soap, and I also do stamp it, put my little signature on the side. And this soap just turned out really good. The scent retention is amazing. It is just stuck the entire time. It's been, well, gosh, it's been, it has to be at least 6 to 8 weeks since we made this soap. So I'm really behind in my soap filming and posting. So I do apologize for that. But when it gets to be Christmas time, I am just so crazy with orders that, and this year is no exception, but I get so crazy that I just don't have time to be able to do filming. Sometimes I just don't have time to film everything that I'm doing. So I wanted to get some videos out there for you guys. So now I'm just stamping with my Skin Candy stamp. I will leave a link to the shop that I got this from. It's from a company out of Idaho, and they make soap stamps of all different kinds and images, and they can do customs, and there you go. So guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and oh, looks like you guys are getting a little bit of another soap trimming video. But I am going to go ahead and go, and we are going to actually have this part on another soap video. So thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate everything you guys do for me. I appreciate you guys watching, for the likes and the shares and the comments. And I do want to thank you guys for sticking with me this year. 2024 was really crazy. I think you will all agree with me on that. And until then, and well, until next time, we will see you guys later. Have a very Merry Christmas. Have a very Happy New Year. And I will see you guys in 2025.